Hello. In this video, I'm going to teach you about another very powerful way of representing a solution, and this is pseudocode. Pseudocode is kind of like a brainstorming method. It doesn't follow any specific programming language, but it is rich in programming structures. By understanding pseudocode, you become very close to understanding different programming structures. That is, you get a better understanding of syntax, you get a better understanding of some of the important things like variables, loops, selection, etc. And if you still don't know what variables, loops, and selection really means, you don't have to worry very much, because slowly we are going to introduce those concepts into our lessons. All right. So what I have done here is the words which are in blue, all these words in blue. These are keywords. These are words which represent keywords from specific programming languages. In some pseudocodes, these words will be capitalized. For example, you will have input in all caps. But since pseudocode is not very strict, we are going to be flexible, and in this case, we are going to use small letters. All right, let's look at some simple solutions which are implemented using pseudocode. We are going to stick to simple solutions because your understanding of programming is still budding, and bringing tricky solutions may really confuse. So we'll stick to what is simple. I recommend you pause this video, look at the different keywords and structures, and try to get a sense of what's going on. You don't need to truly understand all of them, especially these guys. They can be a little overwhelming. Just try to get a sense of what's going on, but we will revisit these ideas in more detail later. Our first program is we ask the user for their name, and we are going to greet them using their name. In pseudocode, we are going to use begin to indicate the beginning of our code. The word input is used when we want to command the user to provide an input. Whatever the user is going to provide is going to be stored in this variable called name. So when the computer says input, or when the command says input followed by name, the computer is going to wait for you to type the name. So I'm going to type Joe. This value is going to be stored in the variable called name. Now, after that, my computer or my program is going to display the words hello followed by Joe. Since Joe is the one who is stored in name, then our program ends. That is pseudocode, very simple there. We move to the next example. Our program begins, then the command is to input age. So if I input my age, that age is going to be stored in the variable called age. I'm not 20, by the way, just an example. Now, the variable called age is storing a value of 20. We can now say if age is greater than or equal to 18, then you display adult. So if the value which is stored in the variable called age, if it is greater than or equal to 18, then the computer is going to display adult. Otherwise, the computer would display young. We end the if statement. This is the if starting. This is the if ending. And we end the program. So it's like you're talking to a friend. Give me your age, they give you 20. That age which they gave you is greater than 18, so you tell them you're an adult. If the friend had given you their age to be, say, 16, you'll tell them you are young. So in as much as these words may look like a lot, what the program is really doing is something that we're doing every day. Every day, we do this every day. All right. Let's look at another pseudocode. Our program begins and we are commanded to input two values. The first mark, the second mark. So maybe the first mark is 90, the second mark is 92. We then use those values to calculate the average. So we say average, this is a back arrow here. It's a back arrow, it looks like this. It's called an assignment operator. It's used to assign values. If you look back, you will find assign a value to a variable. This is the assignment operator, a back arrow. Okay. If the average which we calculated over here, if it is greater than or equal to 50, we display pass. Otherwise, we display fail. The if statement ends, the program ends as well. This is how pseudocode works. You can actually see input, process, decision, then end. Within the decision, you can see output as well. This is the output. So that's your IPO. Process and decision are basically process. All right. Then we are going to look at a nested if statement. We are saying give us a number. So the user is going to provide a number. If the number is greater than 0, we output it's positive. Else, if the number is less than 0, we output or display negative. If it's not positive or negative, we are going to say else, say it's 0. You end if, and the program ends. All right. I'm going to ask you to pause your video and try to make sense of this program. All right. So in this program, the user is going to be asked to input a number. That number is called n. N is going to start at 1. We display count. N comes back again. N becomes 2. We display count, and we keep doing that until we reach the value of N. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this until I teach you about the for loop. I want you to have a look at the while loop as well. Try to find out what the while loop does until I teach you about the while loop. All right. This is the repeat loop. It's another one which I want you to find out about until I teach you about it.